Tyson Foods announces a vaccine requirement for its employees. And local community leaders come together to encourage four-staters to get vaccinated against COVID-19.
The four states' most watched news starts now.
One of the largest employers in the four states announces it's requiring vaccines for its U.S.-based workforce. This is KOAM News at 6. Tyson Foods made the announcement today. The company also announced it would give $200 to fully vaccinated team members. Tyson's chief medical officer said, quote, "Getting vaccinated against COVID-19 is the single most effective thing we can do to protect our team members, their families, and their communities." As the Delta variant continues to spread throughout southwest Missouri and hospitalizations remain high, community leaders are coming together to share information about vaccines. KOAM's Bronte Sorotsky has more.
The Joplin area is once again finding itself in the midst of the pandemic. That's why Access Family Care in Joplin hosted a community health collaborative to hear from local schools, hospitals, and officials.
That our hospitals are full. This is indeed the truth. We do not have the capacity to keep our friends, our neighbors, our family members here at our local hospitals when people need that acute care. We are having to transfer those individuals hours away.
Local school districts were in attendance and shared their message of keeping their students safe.
And we all share this feeling that we want our communities to get vaccinated, to be safe, and our kids will be back in school in about 3 weeks. And we're planning on doing everything we can to keep them safe, just like we did last year.
Joplin Mayor Pro Temp Keenan Cortez was also a speaker and says that while he cannot speak for the city council, that they are keeping a close eye on the number of cases.
We still have our reopening plan on the table, but at this time I don't believe there's any plans to do anything other than what we're currently doing.
One Joplin man in attendance, Jim Stone, was not a part of the panel, but wanted to attend to share why he encourages more people in the area to get vaccinated.
And I have now a 1-year-old granddaughter, it's my first grandchild, and because of the pandemic, I had only been able to see her 2 days in January until this last weekend when I traveled to Indiana for her first birthday, and it's because of the vaccines that I could spend 4 days with her then.
Which is why he says vaccines are so important. In Joplin, Bronte Sorotsky, KOAM News.
Now this coming Thursday, Access Family Care in Joplin is going to host a free vaccine clinic and will also have free COVID-19 testing. You can find more information about this on our website. Of course, that's KOAMnewsnow.com. Checking in with Michael Hayslip now for a first look at the weather.
Down, we are picking up just a little raindrop activity. It's certainly nothing to be concerned about, but there it is on the eastern edge of southwest Missouri. And then as we track up north just a little bit coming down, it's that usual early August, get that what's called diurnal heating. All it means is it gets a little bit unstable during the afternoon and evening hours, doesn't amount to anything. And actually, who can complain about August temperatures that are in the high 70s and low 80s overnight? Hey, open up those windows. How about we dip down into the low 60s as we get ready for Wednesday? Now, our days are counting down, however, because as we get into the latter part of the week, oh, here come the 90s once again. Now, the nice thing is the 90s are actually going to replace this poor air quality we have. We're going to break that down when I see you in just a bit.
All right, catch you in a few. A geophysical survey is taking place at the Fort Scott National Historic Site. A 4-person crew from the Nebraska-based Midwest Archaeological Center is using ground-penetrating radar to peer into the fort's lost history. They're looking for foundations, walls, and other relics that have been buried with time to help give a better understanding of what the fort looked like nearly 180 years ago. Tonight at 10, we're going to hear from the team as well as park officials on the goals of this project. Campaign to put Missouri's new gasoline tax increase to a public vote has been tabled. Americans for Prosperity, Missouri, had hoped voters would overturn the tax increase, but the group's executive director says the campaign just didn't come together. The law will gradually raise the state's 17-cent a gallon gas tax to 29.5 cents over 5 years. Buyers can get a refund if they keep their receipts. Still have a little bit of time to get to the polls on this election day. Voters in Jasper County, Purcell, Carthage, Joplin, Oronogo, and Avila, Missouri, as well as Cherokee County, Kansas, all have items on their ballots. There are no offices to fill. The elections are just over issues, mostly tax questions. You'll have until 7 p.m. to cast your vote in both states. We're going to have the latest, of course, on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com, and later on KOAM News at 10. Pitt State baseball gets the chance to evaluate some up-and-coming stars, and prospective nursing students check out what they can expect before heading off to school at Crowder College in Neosho. Coming up. Pittsburgh State baseball gets a chance to check out potential future Gorillas today and show off the facilities on campus. Sports Director Jacob Leonard gives us a look at how the Gorillas Prospect Camp benefits both potential players and the university.
Around 60 high school players hit the field at Pittsburgh State Tuesday, hoping to catch the eyes of college coaches.
A good opportunity to show what I can do so then I can get my name out there and just play ball.
We have 4 other college coaches here, 1 Division I, 3 junior colleges, so they're going to get a good look-see today to see where they might fit in.
I've just always been playing baseball ever since I was 6, and I had so much love for it, and I just love playing it. It's a good way to escape from life, just come out here and play ball and make new friends and just compete.
Pitt State's Prospect Camp gives players a chance to be seen and evaluated by Coach Fornelli and those coaches.
I'm over here just to get better and learn new things and just show these colleges what I can do and just be a better player.
They'll all get an evaluation sheet at the end of the day to kind of see where they fit.
The players are not the only ones who benefit from the camp.
We'll find a guy or 2 that we really like today. Now, getting them is a whole different thing, but we wouldn't do these things if we couldn't find a guy or 2, and hopefully we find 5 to 10, you never know.
And if that doesn't work out, it's still a chance for Pittsburgh State to show off its facilities and the rest of what PSU has to offer.
We're so excited to have people on campus. We have a beautiful campus, have unreal facilities. Like you said, we're going to put them in the bus and a team at a time and take them over to see the plaster in the weight room and kind of see the campus and not only just see our facilities but the football field and all that stuff. Maybe it's a kid that chooses to come to school to Pitt State, maybe not to play baseball, just go to school and be on our great engineering program or construction science or whatever it may be. We got a ton of options for guys and hopefully our facilities and our school will show off well today, and hopefully we'll have some future Gorillas.
In Pittsburgh, Jacob Leonard, KOAM Sports.
The camp started with individual pro-style drills in the morning before putting players in the game situations in the afternoon. Crowder College's nursing program hosted a showcase of a different sort today. It was aimed at showing prospective and pre-nursing students what they'll be learning.
Short day, just to give you enough to get excited about nursing, and hopefully after today students leave feeling like, yes, this is where I want to be, or some might think, okay, this gave me just enough to understand maybe I want to go a different track.
The future nurses saw a simulation lab and learned about being a nurse during a pandemic. Later, health experts talk about how the Delta variant affects kids.
Heat's not the issue for early August. It's actually air quality. We've not only got advisories up to our north, but also to almost nationwide. We'll explain what that all means right next. Got a great question over the weekend. It was actually from some little kids. They said, Michael, you say it's going to be mostly sunny, yet it really doesn't look like the sun is shining through. And that's evident right here outside of the mothership at KOAM because it's that haze. And when we talk about a haze, had to explain to them that it's actually all the way from the West Coast wildfires. Now, here's the thing. Going to break it down why it's above us right now and why it's going to leave us here in the next couple of days. Let's take a live look outside of KOAM TV. We are picking up just a little bit of light rain on the eastern edge of southwest Missouri. Going to be one of those 5 to 10 minute hitters. No lightning, no thunder involved with that, and really the majority of the 4 states remains dry. Even that light blue you see down there in northeast Oklahoma, that's just picked up by the sweeping radar. Do want to point out that air quality warning, not an advisory. Oh no, this thing got upgraded to a warning up in the KC metropolitan area. Now, metro area like that, whether it be Kansas City, say Dallas-Fort Worth, say Minneapolis. Not unusual for them, right? Well, here's the thing. It actually has a direct effect on us. This is what we're getting from the West Coast wildfires. You not only see the orange area throughout southeast Kansas, but you also see the yellow encompassing the majority of the 4 states. What does that mean? Here we go. The yellow, air quality acceptable. Most people not going to notice it, but if you've got asthma or COPD, you don't want to be outside for long periods of time. Now that orange category, yeah. Okay, then we get a little bit more serious, but what we can do is let's drop into, see the forecast? That's for tomorrow. And so as we back this out, you'll notice that orange category severely drops to the south. Southeast Kansas, pretty much good to go. Southwest Missouri, central portion right along the state line, that's in the yellow, which means day by day we're getting better. And we'll explain why here in just a second. 81 degrees is where we hang over Joplin. Thank goodness we're not having temperatures that are up into the mid to high 90s with this smoke and ash hanging over us. We get to ride anywhere from 79s in Fort Scott and Pittsburgh. 84 is as high as we're seeing in Independence, 81 in Neosho. But here's the key factor. Remember we talked about that southward drop of the smoke and the ash? Well, everything comes out of the West Coast right here, rides the jet stream, and then it pushes down to the south-southeast. So it's just a matter of time. If we play the waiting game, we're patient and we're safe, everything will be just fine. The haze will linger into tonight, and we'll see a little bit tomorrow, just not as much. But that northeast breeze will continue to push everything down to the south. And as far as rain goes, still have that 2 to 5 p.m. time period where you get 5 to 10 raindrops on your windshield, and that's about it. But I'll tell you what's going to happen. See how that cold front kind of expands upon us on Wednesday? Look at what happens on Wednesday into Thursday. We'll be doing the exact opposite. So Dow, as soon as we get rid of the haze, then we'll be back into talking about, probably heat advisories, especially by the time we get to the weekend.
So a whole nother reason to stay indoors if you can.
I'm going to steal your line from earlier. Haze, stay indoors. Heat, go ahead and stay indoors.
Either way. Thanks, Slip. Hey, people in Miami are donating blood as part of the Boots and Badges Blood Drive. The event's a friendly competition. It's between the Miami police and fire departments. Anyone 16 years old and older is asked to stop by the Miami Civic Center to donate blood. Donors will receive a Boots and Badges t-shirt, a ticket to a local attraction, and be entered to win a pair of tickets to see country music artist Granger Smith at Buffalo Run Casino and Resort on Friday.
We are the local blood provider here in Tegris Miami Hospital, in Tegris Grove, and St. Francis Veneta Hospital. So making sure that you're donating blood with us, make sure that we have blood to fill those hospitals' needs, your local hospitals' needs. So we're looking forward to some great Boots and Badges programs in the region.
That event's going to continue tomorrow from noon to 6 p.m. Still ahead, a Missouri mother talks about her son's battle with COVID-19. As health experts continue encouraging folks to get vaccinated to protect the most vulnerable. Republican Kansas Attorney General Derek Schmidt wants to curb the power of Governor Laura Kelly and local officials to impose COVID-19 restrictions, and he's taking that fight to the state's highest court. Schmidt says he's asked the Kansas Supreme Court to keep in place a law that limits Kelly's power and local officials' authority, even though a Johnson County trial court judge struck down that law last month. Schmidt is appealing the judge's ruling and wants the decision put on hold in the meantime. The Republican-controlled legislature enacted the law earlier this year to prevent Kelly from restricting businesses or imposing a statewide mask mandate. An increase in COVID-19 cases and hospitalization shows the impact the Delta variant is making on our communities. Tonight, experts and data shine a spotlight on how the variant affects kids. Reporter Gabriela Vidal has more.
I didn't know how, honestly, it was going to turn out. He was really sick.
A worst fear coming to fruition for Ashley Henderson, her 7-year-old son hospitalized with COVID.
Saturday evening, he wasn't feeling well, and then he actually woke up about 2 a.m. With a pretty significant fever, just not feeling well, was real flushed, real fatigued, just real listless. He just pretty much slept for 3 days. He was just not himself at all.
Her son has common variable immune deficiency, a condition that makes him more susceptible to getting sick, which is why her family did everything they could to protect, all getting vaccinated and making sure he learned from home.
We don't really know where he would have got that from, because we do keep him pretty, we say pretty much in a bubble, because we don't know how things affect him when he does get sick.
We are seeing more patients, more kids with COVID-19. Not just that, we are seeing more severe disease, and some patients are being admitted to the intensive care unit.
The St. Louis Pandemic Task Force told News 4 there were 13 pediatric COVID hospitalizations across the region's hospitals. A pediatric infectious disease expert we spoke to expects that number to grow.
If we have no higher rate of immunization, we're going to see more cases.
Lincoln County officials say 17% of reported COVID-19 cases in July were among children. St. Charles County, 24% for the month of July. And in Franklin County, 13%. And roughly 20% of Jefferson County's reported COVID-19 cases last week were people 19 and under. Henderson hopes more people do their part to get vaccinated and wear a mask.
If people are not going to protect themselves, do it for other people. People like my son that doesn't have an immune system to fight this stuff off.
Final check on the weather is next. Take time now to honor a local veteran. Technical Sergeant Philip Beckley served in the U.S. Air Force. His hometown, Pittsburgh. And we are proud to salute Technical Sergeant Philip Beckley. He's tonight's four-state hero. Jordan Abbey joins us now with a look at what's coming up tonight on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14.
Tonight at 9, going to have results from today's elections in a number of southwest Missouri counties, also in southeast Kansas. Plus, historians use ground-penetrating radar to try and find some lost history over in Fort Scott, Kansas. And scientists say harmful chemicals are leaking from abandoned oil and gas wells across the country. That, of course, a lot more coming your way tonight. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14.
Jordan, thanks. Scientists say July was a really shaky month at Yellowstone National Park. Yeah, one expert called it a, quote, doozy of a month. The U.S. Geological Survey shared its monthly report on earthquake activity. It says seismologists reported more than 1,000 minor quakes around Yellowstone last month. It's the most quakes reported at the national park since June of 2017. Most of the tremors were a part of 7 different swarms. Now, a swarm is a series of small quakes that happen back to back for a short period. The agency says the largest swarm saw more than 764 earthquakes hit beneath Yellowstone Lake. Yeah, Yellowstone, basically this volcanic, massive volcanic system.
It's right on a fault right there. And the cool thing is about the Skywatch Storm Tracker dial is we have earthquake capabilities on that. I can even point out to you here in the last 10 days, luckily the southwest portion of Montana has not been affected by that. But you see all those dots right there? That's where we're able to pick up with our technology. Highs in the 80s up until Friday, until the heat wave sets in for the weekend.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here for KOAM News at 10. Let's make it a great evening.